So you've got that little workshop area right there, and then kind of take me back from there. What else?
Okay, so when you round the corner, one of the favorite things, actually, it's a lot of people say it's their favorite part of the store, is my restroom.
Welcome to CelinaRadio.com, recorded right here in Celina, Texas, a quiet little dusty, sleepy town that has absolutely nothing going on. Guys, I am Ron Lyons. This is CelinaRadio.com, and we've got everything in this town going on. And as of lately, a whole lot more than you probably want to imagine. You may notice that this is episode 29, and the last episode published was episode 27 with Jason Laumer, the city manager. Thankfully, still the city manager. And there's a missing episode in between, episode 28, that I haven't published, and I'm not going to publish it until it's time. Because in episode 28, I cover all kinds of things that are going on right now with the city of Celina that most of you probably don't know about. And it involves the complete lack of leadership and the poor decisions made by some members of the Celina City Council. We'll save that for later. As of today, I want you to listen to this episode, and especially in the beginning. If you haven't already read the description, see if you can figure out who it is. We're going to have a good time, guys. So sit back and let's get started. All right, guys, I am here right now with somebody that I'm not actually going to share their identity with you. They are... They're local favorites. They've been around for a while. We're going to give you a couple of clues by virtue of I'm going to ask them some questions. And at some point, you're probably going to figure out who they are. So first of all, guys, how are we doing?
We're doing good. A little nervous. First podcast.
Yeah. Well, and tell me, a little anxiety? Are you feeling pretty at ease with it? How does it feel?
Getting better. I have my hat on.
You've got your hat on, and your
clue
hat
number
is
one.
there. So clue number one is your hat is part of who you are. It's part of your identity, and somehow you were able to get the hat over the headphones.
I did. I made it work.
That is literally the first time I've ever seen that happen. That's pretty awesome. So we are in the little blue house off the square right here in Celina, Texas. And you guys are closely related to the square as well. So tell me, how do you like having a business? Clue number two, how do you like having a business on the square in Celina, Texas?
I love it. You get to see everything that's going around in Celina. I love having my doors open. And clue number two, I see a lot of people going to get barbecue.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what do you think? Are you loving the square of Celina, Texas? Is it just one of the most amazing little places down here?
Yeah, I think it's great. That's Norman Rockwell.
It is. Somebody said the other day, I think actually the mayor said the Christmas thing, that it's kind of like a Hallmark kind of deal.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that is definitely it. So let's start giving away a few more clues here. So how long have you been in your current location on the square in Celina?
5 months. Only 5 months.
Wow. Well, that eliminates a lot of different places right there. So give us a few hints about what you do.
Oh, okay. So I deal with lots of dried botanicals. Lots of pottery and vases.
Okay.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh, the pink door.
No, what he said, what do we do? What do I do?
But clues, pink door.
Pink door is one. Everybody
Right.
does love the pink doors and pink awning.
Pink awning. Is there?
It's really called likable sand, but
Likeable. Okay. All right. There's the real name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a meaning behind having those colors on the door and the awning?
actually no meaning, just they worked. I liked the juxtaposition of the light, the feminine, against the really black fox, dark side of the building that
Right.
was painted.
Right. That's awesome. So If I were going to walk around the square, there would be barbecue close by.
Yes.
There would be a very specifically colored door and awning. How would you describe what you do in there? What is that?
We do lots of rearranging of furniture, right? We have a fun botanical bar, 12-foot table that someone built. Can't tell you who yet.
Nice.
Built. That's really the heartbeat of the store.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. Okay, so guys, in case you don't know right now, I am actually sitting here with Andrew and Traci Miller from Terramania. Yeah. Terramania is just one of the latest and greatest big things going on in Celina, Texas. So let's talk about Terramania. How's things going at Terramania? To me, it's rocking over there. I love it. My wife loves to go in there, spend a ton of money, and have a lot of fun. We were over there the other night, ran into you guys in the store.
It was popping that night. It
was greatness. And that was at the Christmas event on the square. And I think we got to do exactly what you're talking about. The botanical table, is that where we were making the ornaments and stuff? Is that what that is?
Actually, that's another part of the store.
Oh, wow. So there's something
there's
different.
More. Yes, that part is, we also have an area where we do workshops.
Okay.
So from ladies to kids to couples, that all happens kind of around the corner to the back of the store.
Gotcha.
It's also kind of what I also call the potting shed area. It has this really cool vibe back there. You feel like you're in a different part of the world.
So you've got this crazy, awesome place going on. There was a lot of build up to it. People were very, very excited about it coming. Like, when's it opening and all that kind of stuff. I remember, I'm going to be honest here, we may have walked up and tried to peek in a time or two to see if we could see what was going on. And my wife was very excited about that. And I have to say, it's impressive. It's very impressive. I love that store. That's fantastic. So I know you had been in a particular position, and then you got basically furloughed, like unbelievably a lot of people did.
Yeah. A lot of dreams happened during that time.
Take me back through those steps. What happened?
Okay, so was furloughed for 3 months. So while I was at home during those 3 months, I began to wonder, because I like to stay busy. I like to create and do things. And so as I was sitting at home, I began to ask myself, what is it about friends and family that they love when they come over to our house? We love to entertain. So really entertaining was really one of my first loves. And so I realized that the earth tones that I use within my house is one of those, just makes everything feel warm and cozy, and why people love hanging out at my house. So I began to doodle and come up with different names, and Terra means of the earth and mania, crazy about. So Terramania was actually born that way.
Nice.
So went to Andrew, and he said, let's just get your domain name, taken care of. So we registered that, and then, some months went by, and then I was like, well, how am I going to get started? What do I do now? And I worked for a lady in downtown McKinney, and one of the things that she used to do was she would have home shows where literally everything in her house, I didn't go as crazy as her, but from her bed to the couch, the light fixtures, she would literally sell everything. She would open it up, and people would come and shop. So I said, well, I know how to go to market, and let's go get some things. So I literally took down all my home decor, went to market and got stocked up, redecorated the mantel, made our dining room into what is now the Botanical Bar station. So I had my vases in there, had all the botanicals in there, so when people came over, I could do an arrangement. And then since we were empty nesters, literally the house became a store. So we lived for about a year and a half in our house as a store.
So you literally lived in the early version of Terramania at home.
At home.
Getting to test out all of these things and experiment, see what people liked and didn't like, and obviously it went well.
It went well. Poor Andrew didn't have anywhere to put his feet up on a coffee table for a long time. I mean, it was everywhere. So about every other month, I would have what I would call a home show.
Right.
I'd have champagne and tea sandwiches and just have an open house and invite people over, and they would come shop.
Right.
And then I figured my friends are going to run out of money here pretty soon. I got to meet strangers.
Right.
So I was like, well, I need to do some pop-ups. So started doing some pop-ups down in Frisco, down at the Star. And then in the meantime, Andrew's parents had moved to Celina. And so they're around the corner, and one night they came to the Friday night market.
Right.
And they came back and they said, hey, did you know that Celina has pop-ups? And I did not know that. So she's like, you should do one. So, okay. So the next month we went and visited Alexis down at the EDC and talked with her. And we were like, whoa, what's happening in Celina? So we were like, let's give it a shot. Let's see how people take to me, sitting up here. And from the first one out of the gate, it was people were like, do you have a store? Are you going to have a store? Would you do a store here? And then people would ask us, can we help you? Can we help you take down your booth? Can you set up your booth? And we had never experienced anything like that. Just the take on the people from the time that we started doing pop-ups.
So you kind of fell in love with Celina just kind of through a series of events that kind of led you over here doing a little pop-up, and then you get to interact with the people, and before you know it, you're falling in love with Celina. And as of right now, you guys don't actually live in Celina, but you have chosen Celina to make your business. And so tell me, what do you love about Celina? Like, is it the people? Is that kind of really the thing for you? Like, what makes Celina so amazing for you that makes you want to say set up shop here and not, you could go anywhere. You could go down to Dallas or Plano or anywhere.
Yep.
Why Celina?
And I've already been in McKinney, and I knew McKinney was not it. I've already worked down there. And so one of the things I really did during that time is I had 3 prayer requests that I lifted up to God. And one of them was, dear Lord, don't put me in a strip mall.
Yeah, right. So you didn't want to be in a strip mall.
I did not want to be in a strip mall. Being in a community and somewhere that we could serve was really number one.
Right.
I wanted a place where we would know families, know their dogs, know their aunts, know their kids, and just be part of their family as part of their family as well. And then second, I had a certain amount of square footage that I wanted to have, and then just a building that had just character.
Right. So important for your kind of a business.
Yes.
So Celina spoke to you, and it checked off all those boxes, and you have a fantastic location over there. So, Andrew, tell me, what is it like following along, chasing your wife's dreams of doing this store and going through that process?
It's been exciting, actually. It's been a ton of work. At the time, having, a full-time day job, so to speak, and then doing all this on the side, so the quote-unquote side hustle that everybody's got.
100%. And let's tell everybody, so you actually, believe it or not, you're not fully married to Terramania, or haven't been, although lately you've been more involved in it. Give us a little bit of that, kind of that backstory.
Yeah, so my background. So I'm a by trade, I'm been in the pharmaceutical business for about 30 years, commercial sales executive. And like so many others, recently have experienced a downsizing, elimination of my positions kind of deal. So if there's any recruiters out there,
Might be looking for a job.
Might be looking.
Right?
And this is, I don't know if that's, obviously it was supposed to happen, but it may be also God's plan to, do something else, or, it's definitely been pushed out of the nest, so to speak.
Right.
And it gives me a great opportunity during the holiday season and shopping season to really support and help.
And probably at a time, I mean, honestly, you're 5 months in, you're facing Christmas, the holidays, and everything else. What a great time to have your husband available to you to help out with the store and to really just kind of be there for you. I mean, it's kind of a blessing in a way, even though it's a challenge because, losing a job's never fun or easy, but it's got to be a blessing at the same time.
Oh, gosh, yes. He's there just like today. The Sonos went down, and he's on the phone doing a diagnostic, and I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do when you're gone?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tech's not her thing.
Right. So describe to me, you were telling me before just a little bit about kind of, so I understand how you guys got there and everything, and it's very earthy. And very much like that. Obviously, you guys have a strong faith, and this seems to be like just I don't know, very, very divine in a lot of ways.
It is.
So do you when you have that kind of that earthy feel and stuff, does that kind of relate also to you as a person, like who you are? Are you very kind of that, granola earthy kind of, is that you? No?
No way.
No, very, very interesting. Hold on, I've got to ask him about this. Okay, here's the expert.
He's
Tell
not
me.
granola whatsoever.
No.
Of course, define granola, but
Right, not that.
I would not say granola.
Wow, very interesting. So that means then that this is something that just comes from within you, that you have a real knack and talent for.
So I guess too, it's really more about a feeling. And I realized when I was coming up with the name, it's really about the feeling, even the feeling when they came in my home. And so that was something else I wanted people to feel like, and it kind of does. When you walk through our front doors, it really feels like you're walking into my house. So that was one of the number one feelings. Like, you would just walk in and like, hey, let's sit down, let's talk, can I get you a drink and coffee, and let's chit chat. So really, it's a feeling, and I get that a lot when people come in, and as they're leaving, they go, wow, it feels really good in here.
That's true.
It's super cozy. Or
it is
I
true.
feel like I just went to the spa.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, check, done. I reached my goal on how that's what I wanted people to have a feeling.
It's an experience.
It's experience. Mm-hmm.
And they have a good experience. Like, I want to come in there, like I can't come in there and like sit down on your stuff and everything, but I'm walking around with my arms crossed, so I don't touch anything.
I know a lot of parents.
and I'm looking around. I'm like, I'd love my house to have like all this stuff. That would be amazing, and that's got to be a good thing because it is very appealing, even to me. And I'm not the guy that goes out and does that stuff.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, tell me, before you got involved with Terramania and helping your wife chase this dream and everything, were you very savvy with all of this stuff with like home decor and everything, or is this something that you're learning kind of as you go from her?
I'm probably learning a little bit from her as far as how to describe stuff and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I would classify myself as probably pretty handy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So from putting stuff together and building stuff,
maybe more of a behind the scenes.
I'm a
guy,
very
right?
much behind the scenes type of guy. Even though I'm sales executive.
Right,
I
understand.
I don't mind the spotlight every now and then. But
Right.
For her, it's behind the scenes.
So with all of that stuff going on, you're probably around downtown quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here 7 days a week.
So you're 100% then familiar with the restaurants that we have on the square.
Yes.
And I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit. Give me an idea of a place and something that you guys might go there and order.
Well, I'll tell you my favorite, and I usually do it with when girlfriends come to town to see me.
Right.
I get away, and my favorite place is Toasted Walnut, of course.
Nice.
Yes, but it's the hot pimento cheese.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that insane?
And when
That's something I can relate to. I like it.
My mom and aunt came in October. My mom came to see the store for the first time. She lives in Shreveport.
Right.
And we went there for lunch, and we ordered one appetizer, and that was it, just split between four of us. And had lunch, and then later that evening, we were still on the square shopping and walking around.
Right.
And it came to be dinner time. Mom says, let's go back and get more pimento cheese.
You've got to be kidding
We did. And we got two more, not only one more, but we got two more rounds.
Man.
It just wasn't enough. Yeah.
All
no lie.
So if Joey is listening to this, which he does listen to this, then there's proof right now, Joey, that your
Don't get rid of the
cheese
pimento
is
cheese.
just that's a hot item over there. So Andrew, what about you? You got any favorites? Anything on the square? Restaurants that you prefer? Things that you like?
I'll take the Mexican pizza at Papagayo's.
There you go.
Yes.
I'll take
The man that knows his stuff
right.
here.
I'll take the lean brisket and jalapeno sausage at Tenders.
He makes his rounds.
I mean, this morning was kolaches and donuts. So
there you go.
So
there you go.
yeah,
I like it. I like it. So tell me this. So a lot of people have said they've got great experiences with the city, coming in as a new business and things like that. Have you had a good experience with the city of Celina?
We have had an awesome, it couldn't have been any better. Just from the day we met with Alexis, with the EDC, so supportive, giving us grants to get started. Anytime that during our build out for those 6 months, never had any. I mean, we could call in, hey, we're ready for. They were there the next day.
Nice.
I mean, the city has just been wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a real actual pleasure. You know,
very good.
You know, and you know, I don't know if there'll ever be another location or a next thing, right? So the comparison will always be our experience with this one. So
they set the bar high.
They set the bar, you know, really high.
Well,
So
that's great. That's very, very good news. And obviously, tons of people are coming to Celina, and you're banking on that. You've got a store here now. You need the consumers. But, you know, there's this kind of this back and forth thing in town. A lot of people want to hold on to small town. Other people may have more of a desire for it to grow quickly. Where would you say you are on that scale?
Being on the square, it keeps you grounded on the old school, the old town feel. So you feel that all the time because we're on the square. So it's hard to really see the growth that's happening, you know, miles down the road.
You don't see the big neighborhoods and stuff because you're very connected to our past by virtue of the square.
Yes, but just hearing how many people, when my home gets built, I'll be in. So I'm like, the houses are coming. Yeah, so that's exciting on that end, the growth of Celina.
It is, and I think that no matter what, obviously the growth is coming. There's no getting around that, and it's been said many, many times. I'm certainly not the original person to say it, but the square is our anchor to that small town feel, and to kind of keep us, you know, kind of focused on community and things like that. And I think that they're doing a fantastic job right now. And I love the fact that you guys are right there with Terramania. So one of my questions would be, Andrew, do you foresee that you'll ever grow this, or is this?
Let's grow it, right? You know, bigger and better. So I don't know what that growth looks like, though. I don't know if it's, you know, multiple locations and, you know, we're all stretched thin and, you know, kind of all over Dallas or other places, or if it's, you know, we have the building, you know, the place there on the square, and it's something completely different, but still tied sort of together.
Right.
You know, incorporating the love to entertain, and, you know, I share that too. So, you know, it's always good to have groups of people together and share in community type things.
Give me an idea for a person who's never been in your store. What's it like? You walk in the front door. What happens?
And it smells so good.
That's critical, right? That's a big deal.
Smell is one. That is probably even people walking by. It's our wonderful candle line from Spain.
There you go.
So it really, in scent and smell, is one of my big things too. It creates part of that feeling, right?
Part of that experience.
So
I gotta jump in here.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing you do.
It is.
It's the music.
Oh, well, yes.
I spent good hard money to put speakers outside.
Yes.
Speaking of the Sonos system going down.
And music is yeah. I have certain music. So we used to fight over the music, and he likes the old
other stuff.
80s rock. And I'm like, absolutely not.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So in both cases, you get this. You get the music, you get the smell, and then bring me in.
Okay, so then it does. It almost looks like a home. You see a fireplace there that we actually went and dug out of somebody's yard that we saw on Facebook Market and redid it, and it kind of looks like a stucco, something out of, you know, Santa Fe or something. But redid that, so you kind of do feel like you're walking into my home. There's couches for sale and chairs and just like a little vignette, like you would just come and sit down right there. But literally everything is for sale. So that's part of it. And then one of my favorite things, it is not for sale, is my disco ball.
Oh, your disco ball.
I have a big Vantage disco ball that I found years ago with a lady that I worked with, and I found it at Round Top, and it came home with me, and it's just floated around my house from room to room. And I said, if I ever have a store one day, this is going in the store.
So where? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember seeing that in your store. Where is it?
It's kind of above the checkout stand.
Okay.
So it's big. You won't miss it now.
so it's actually hung on the ceiling.
Yep.
And
Andrew hung it up.
1970s style disco ball kind of deal.
Glass,
the mirrored ball.
Yep.
Right.
How much would you say that weighs?
It's heavy. It's probably 30 inches around.
Yeah, I just wanted people to just remember life is just, you know, remember to relax and have fun and just a little bit of a party.
Very nice.
It doesn't work. There's no lights.
There's no.
It doesn't spin.
I didn't want to make anybody dizzy or sick when they came in.
Kind of sits up there and tells a story in a silent, visual way. Okay, I got it. That's awesome. So as you move back through the store, more items for sale. And then you get back there to that section. I think it's like your little workshop type area. Talk to me about that.
Okay, in that workshop area is there's shelves, and it kind of looks like you're in an outdoor potting shed. Lots of pottery and greenery, just really earthy. Right now it's decked out for Christmas too, but my style of Christmas is mushrooms. Mushrooms.
Okay.
That's kind of one of my signatures. I have all kinds of like real mushrooms, but right now it's like fun felt little mushrooms that have little glitter.
I'm literally having a hard time following you. Mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't do red and green Christmas. It's fairyland back there.
Somebody says it's done in Christmas style, so I'm envisioning Christmas, and then but my kind of Christmas, and I'm like, okay, what's her kind? Maybe earthy. Oh yeah, no mushrooms.
Yeah.
All right. You get back there to your work area, back there, your tables and stuff, and they're very, very nice. That whole area back there is incredible. Talk to me about that. Like, what all kinds of things do you have to use, and how is that space used, etc.?
Okay, so first of all, a cool story on the workshop tables that are back there. We drug those home from Round Top. They're actually art tables that were from Mount Pleasant High School. They even came with gum on the bottom still.
Oh, that's nice. Nice add-on.
Yes. So those were super heavy. And Andrew built the bottoms, the base to them, put them on casters so we could wheel them around if we needed to.
Right.
So each table can hold up to 8, maybe 10 if we really squeeze in people each. So it was even funny, like, as we were working on those in the garage, we had to go grab neighbors to help us flip them over to get the tops and bottoms back on. I mean, super heavy, but fun workshops. We've done a couple of botanical wreath workshops, about 3 of those. We've also had a local artist, T.C. Hall, come in. He does leather, and I thought it would be fun because I'm kind of a 70s girl. We did leather bracelets, so he taught us how to stamp and dye our own bracelets.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that was fun because we had guys and girls come to that. So, and our latest one has been boho ornaments. So,
wow.
yeah,
very nice.
Well, one of our girls, she's always that works for me. Her name is Arden, and she's made those for years. And I love that she's able to share part of her talent too. We've had last night we had 5 moms and 7 kids belly up around the workshop tables and make some for their teachers and friends. So
very, very nice. So my daughter made. With help from your people, it was pretty amazing. They all kind of wrapped around her and helped her.
That's right. That night,
make an ornament, and it was super, super, super cool. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Bad news from that is we have a cat? We have a pig.
Oh, that's right.
We have a pig who lives in the house. And the pig found the ornament and was able to just reach it and pull it off. Good news is, only got it into like 2 big separate pieces, and Dad was able to make it.
Bring it in. We'll remake it for her.
It was a great experience. That was fantastic. That was a lot of fun. So you've got that little workshop area right there, and then kind of take me back from there. What else?
Okay, so when you round the corner, one of the favorite things, actually, it's a lot of people say it's their favorite part of the store, is my restroom.
Okay. Andrew, let me just say something real quick. Right. Andrew, you live a very incredible and interesting life.
Yeah, thank you.
He's along for the ride.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you. I live in a constant state of redecorating.
I have been here. We've been talking for just a short time, and already we've covered disco balls, mushrooms, and the favorite part of the place, the restroom. Yeah, so this is, I've got to hear about this. Tell me.
Okay, so it is funny. I do tell people, and while you're back there, go to the restroom. They're like, what? And I'm like, you'll know. So when they do walk in, should I give it away so when people come, they can see it for themselves?
Give us a little. Give me a.
There's somebody there that watches you.
Well, it's not a person.
It's not a person.
Not a person, but
there's something in there that's really cool. As you
very interesting.
go to the restroom.
Let's don't tell them what it is.
Yeah.
but let's just
There's a special guest in there.
I need to go to Terramania. Is it one restroom or are there two?
It's one big one, and it's really pretty. So the wallpaper in there.
So I would even be able to go in there and see.
Oh, you could probably have 8 people in there. You could have a party in there. I should have put the disco ball in there.
Disco ball goes in the restroom with the secret whatever it is. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so one of my favorite things in there too is the wallpaper I put in there.
Right.
It's in my house, and everybody always talks about this wallpaper. So I thought this store's kind of based on my house, so I put the wallpaper in there,
Nice.
and then I have this beautiful green velvet drape from ceiling. How tall are our ceilings? 14 feet.
That part of the building, I think, by 14.
Yeah, the lower end. Yeah, no, nothing's ever square.
Nothing's square.
Right.
Yeah. So this beautiful green velvet drape. My Gone with the Wind is drape that hangs all the way
Nice.
down. Yeah,
Very,
it's
very
pretty
nice.
pretty. So
Very
people say
cool.
they love my bathroom.
That's awesome. Well, now I'm kind of wanting
just
to
go
back
hang
to
out in there.
Terramania so I can see all the stuff now. Yeah, I was just kind of taken aback by the actual furnishings and those things. So, talk to me about the style of the things that you sell. How do you describe that to somebody? So, it's not like it's Italian or it's country or it's this or that. What is it?
Oh my gosh! So that has probably been the number one question that people ask me. They're like, "So, what are you?"
Yeah,
So
it's a very
they
good
do
question.
want to categorize me because they don't really know how to describe it. It really is a true mixture of I would say boho, bohemian,
Right.
A little bit of Southwest, mid-century modern, vintage. It's got, you could say there's rustic. I like really putting something formal that may have brass or mirrored on it right next to something hard and crunchy and old, super vintage.
Wow. So one thing that I've heard about, and I don't really understand, is that you've got something like a botanical bar or something like that. Tell me about that.
Okay, so first off about the Botanical Bar, Andrew built me that Botanical Bar. Of course, I came to him with another honeydew, a picture.
Right.
Hey, can you build this for me? Because I knew from having the table at home in my dining room, it was only 8 feet long, and I wanted a 12-footer.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty big, and it's 3 feet wide. I think so. So I wanted to place...
It's not. It's 4 feet wide.
Oh, it's 4 feet wide. Excuse me.
Technical.
Yeah, it's 12 by 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got a 12 by 4 table, and
Yes.
what happens there? What do you
So
do?
this is where some magic happens. So this is where all the ladies come, and we kind of belly up to the bar, I say. And it holds the botanicals. And what is a botanical? It's dried flowers and pampas grass and just eucalyptus leaves. There's all kinds of something for everybody there. So we either sell it by the stem or we can sell it by the bunch. You can walk out with just botanicals if you want. But behind the Botanical Bar is a huge hutch. And I have all kinds of vases, all kinds of pottery to choose from little bud vases up to, big, huge ones. So, but one of the unique features is you don't have to buy a vase from me. You can bring one from home.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Yep. No extra costs. People bring us bowls. People bring us vases. I've had a lady bring me a window pane that her husband put a backing to it, and she wanted us to fill it with botanicals.
Very
so
nice.
She hung it on the wall. So there is, we ask you questions, is there a botanical that you like the most? Is there one that you don't want to use? Where is it going? Maybe even take a picture of where you think you're going to put it so I can kind of get a vibe of your house, how tall we can go. So when we do arrangements, and we do it right there on the spot. So you don't need an appointment. If you're we've had groups of girls come in for a fun girls' day. I would say if you have over 8 girls, message me so I can make sure I have enough of my girls working to spend time with you. Sometimes if you have a big group, you can rent a space after hours and have a party afterwards, arranging and botanicals and BYOB.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So what in the world leads you, did you have some experience doing that kind of stuff? Or how did you, or did you just dream this up and think this is awesome?
I did not. I don't have any floral background, but no, it's just always creating. And there's so many fun things to use the botanicals for. I mean, we're always coming up with, put it on a headband, put it on a barrette, let's glue it to this or that, let's make an ornament.
She doesn't have any formal
Training.
let me go to school and learn how to do this type of stuff. But
it comes
we've been married for 28 years. She's always been doing this kind of stuff. So
She's got a lot of real world experience.
Yeah.
At times it's actually better, right?
Yeah.
So you're actually doing it. And now as part of your dream, you've got this botanical table that your husband basically put together for you, and you have girls come in and you help them. And or I guess a guy could come in and do it too if they were so inclined. It might not typically be something, it might be more willing.
Could be for a gift or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of masculine vases too. I mean, they're not pink or they're all earth tones, so it does have a masculine feel to them.
So these people can actually come in and they can build this thing and then walk out with it and feel like they were a part of creating something. I mean, what a unique opportunity.
Yeah, it's actually been a pretty decent feature because the ability to bring stuff in, whatever vessel it is, because there's so many new folks moving to Celina, right? I mean, we've said it earlier that, I'll be back when my house is done. Well, a lot of the stuff, wherever they moved from, it worked great in that space, whatever it is, corner, shelf, whatever, and it doesn't work in the new home, right? Well, it's still good stuff.
Sure.
So let's reuse it. Let's repurpose it. Bring that stuff in. So it gives them an opportunity to really make their new home a home.
I like it. So that's something else I'm going to have to check out in there. I've seen so much of this other
bring your
stuff.
little girl.
So on my list of things to look for is now going to include the little botanical section. So yes, we will definitely be back. I guarantee we're certainly going to be in there spending some money and having fun. It's a great place, great experience and everything. So that's very, very cool to know that you've got that. And your experience going back before you did this is you actually used to set up, I guess, what do you call it, decoration or furnishing of model homes.
Yes.
So you actually have that experience, and you've done that before. So you're one of those people that's responsible for the wow factor.
Yeah.
When people walk into a model home, they're like, wow, look at this. This is crazy. And everybody wants their house to look that nice. Can never accomplish it. And now you've brought that talent forward, and you're doing it in Terramania right now. And let me ask you this: is it living a dream? Is it amazing?
It really is. I do have to pinch myself every time I do come in the back door, because I didn't really. I knew I wanted to do a business one day, and it is crazy that I am here doing it.
It's amazing.
And in the perfect, God opened the doors. I went in one day, and Andrew said, at a year and a half mark, we were just beat from, I went back to work, doing pop-ups, doing home shows, and he was like, you'll never go do it unless you quit. And I was like, well, you normally don't quit a job until you know where you're going.
Right.
And I knew it was Celina, but I didn't. Nothing was for sale or for lease in Celina.
Right.
But I knew. I knew. So really how we got there was one 4th of July weekend, not this past, but the one before. We were just walking around downtown Celina, and we went into Cherry's Antiquables. I did not introduce myself. Just walked in. I wanted to see the space. Loved it. I could visualize where the workshop area would be and everything. And so we hired Dorothy, who was our broker, and I had a friend that was a realtor, and she suggested I write them a letter. Just write them a letter. What do you got to lose? And so we wrote them a letter and sent them some pictures and things of what we wanted to do and what my dream was. And at first they were like, no, maybe in a year. And I was like, oh, I don't have a year. I'm almost tired.
Right.
And so, and then we were like, how about to the end of December? And that was last December. So July. So Oh, it's backing up. So he said, okay, but my story was on that when you were talking about things. God said, if you quit, I'm going to show you where you're going to go.
Wow.
And so I did. I took that leap of faith. I went in and gave my 30-day notice. I gave my 30-day notice.
Nice.
Yeah, and which was kind of crazy. So God showed me where I was going. I was going to Celina. So I said, okay. And what was crazy, our soft opening was to the date, June 30th of the year. When I left
Wow.
my last day, that was my soft opening.
Wow.
A year later.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
kind of went in
Story.
circles, but yeah, there was a lot there.
No. That's good. I love it. That's super awesome. So you've got a great story on how you got here. You guys are obviously fantastic together. You've got a blessed life going on right now. There's so many great things. One of the things that we do with Celina Radio is we tend to have a little fun.
Oh, yes, I've heard them.
So you know what I'm talking about. You don't know exactly what's coming. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you some fun questions. Okay. So I'm going to try and crack through that little exterior of I'm the person who owns Terramania and all that stuff. Although you're a hoot by yourself. We don't really need to crack through that exterior. I could ask no funny questions. And we've already been there. We've already covered it. So, but just for the fun of it, I think I'm going to do this because it's fun.
Okay.
People like listening.
People
to
like
that.
goofy. Yeah.
That's right. So I'll kind of direct different questions at each of you, but if you want to chime in on the answer, by all means, feel free to do that. So, all right, Andrew, you've got to make up a rule for me real quick. Just a rule, any rule, make it up any way you want about milk.
Make up a rule about milk.
The look on his face.
So before you drink milk, you have to put a straw in it and blow bubbles.
There you go.
He's competing with you here.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. Traci, what is the best kind of cheese out there?
Gouda, it's my favorite.
That's awesome. She did not even hesitate on that one. And I'm going to ask you again, Traci, on this one. What's something that a lot of people consider maybe trashy or not so awesome that you think is kind of classy? Is there anything out there that other people kind of go, not so much, and you kind of like it?
I have picked stuff up on the side of the road and brought it in. So,
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't think
do
that's
that.
a bad thing at all. So maybe because I do that sometimes. I'll see stuff. I'll be like, "Oh, look at that!" My wife's like, "Keep going, don't stop." Yeah, I want to stop, and you know.
By the way, that thing she finds ends up in my honey-do list.
I believe that, but that's good because you can handle it. You got it. She's
the keep. I like the keep driving part.
Right. And I hear that quite often. So, if there was a movie that you could be in, Andrew, what movie would you like to be in?
Man, if I could be in it,
yeah,
probably Lord of the Rings.
I knew he was going to say
Lord
that.
of the Rings. Wow, that was interesting. Tell me about that.
That my son and I have watched all 6 of those movies.
It's on all the time.
It's on all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. My son knows all the words by heart. Just it's crazy.
So who's the character that you relate with in that whole series? Are you the Gandalf? Or are you the who are you?
I'd probably just be a hobbit.
Be a hobbit.
You'd be a tall hobbit.
Yeah, it's all
We had a little discussion about music a while ago. What's your favorite kind of music, Traci?
How would you describe my music? Is it indie?
You're looking at,
I know.
He asked you the question.
It's alternative, but it's not rock alternative. It's like indie alternative.
Not 70s. I would guess
I do
70s.
love 70s too.
Yes,
Yes, like roller skate, like disco 70s.
I would have kind of guessed that might be something that you'd really like. You'd be a Fleetwood Mac, ABBA kind of.
Yes.
Into that kind of thing. So alternative kind of.
It's kind of the music I play in the store.
I want to ask Andrew this. Andrew, you like sports or not so much?
Yeah, I like them.
Well, you like sports, so you might be able to answer this real well. So, what is a sport that you would choose out of all the sports you know of? What's a sport that you would choose that you would make a mandatory amount of alcohol consumption part of the game?
Oh my gosh!
What would be the most fun to make it mandatory that they consume a certain amount of alcohol before they do that sport?
Before they do the sport,
right?
Gosh,
Which
Talking beer or
Would you like to
bourbon?
see? Let's go real serious. The big stuff.
Hunting's out because there's firearms involved.
That's totally out.
Bowling. Right.
Let's make it a little more interesting.
Right. Bowling.
Nobody ever gets a strike. It's not on their own lane. So I like that. So you guys obviously have all this great and fun stuff going on. You're hilarious. I just can't even imagine. I'd love to just hang around you guys for a day and just like kind of be a part of your world. How would people connect with you? What's you're on Facebook, I'm assuming, possibly Instagram. Tell us how people can find you.
All right. So I'm on both Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach me at Terramania Shop. It's all one word. I think it's Terramania Shop. There might be a little hyphen under Facebook, but it's Terramania Shop. You can see me there at both.
Should be pretty easy to find.
Yes, yeah.
Find Terramania is not
Shop,
going to be super common.
Yeah, but you got to add shop. Terramania was taken those years when I was looking for domain names, so I had to add the shop part on.
And is there a website?
There is, and it's www.terramaniashop.com.
Terramaniashop.com. Very awesome. And what kind of hours are we keeping right now ahead of the holidays?
Okay, we're closed on Mondays. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and Sundays we're open from 12 to 5.
All right, guys. I think that you are absolutely living the dream. Thank you so very much for being on the show today. And we're looking forward to everything that Terramania turns into and seeing you guys on the square. I'll tell you this. I'll just say this to everyone listening right now. If you see these two out anywhere on the square, or if you happen to be going into the store, you need to find them and meet them because they are awesome. So, guys, thank you so very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
So, guys, what did you think about Andrew and Traci Miller? And have you been to Terramania yet? It's just right there as you're coming into the square, right across from Tender. And it's just a fantastic shop. I only wish that I had the kind of talent it takes to be able to put those types of items together, make a store, make a life out of selling those things. Now, to tell you what, not only is the store awesome, but Andrew and Traci are awesome. They're just fantastic people. And it's 100% worth stopping by the store to walk around, check out all of the things they put together, look for the disco ball, go find out what's in the bathroom, and just really get to know Andrew and Traci. Now, they certainly make Celina a better place. I'll tell you what, guys, we've got some amazing people still coming up on the show. We've got some fantastic episodes. We're going to have an awful lot of fun. And when we have to, we'll deal with some of the issues that are facing this city. So, guys, until then, stay safe and God bless. Oh, and one more thing. Since this episode is actually releasing before Christmas, I'm going to take the episode out with some Christmas music. And I'm going to do my best to have a little short episode that I'm going to release on Christmas Day, all about the reason for Christmas. Now, if I don't happen to talk to you again until after the holidays, then I'll leave you with this. Merry Christmas. The angels did say,